to the newest edition of The Bible Goes to Hollywood. On tonight's show, we have two guests with us to discuss Noah's Ark, a movie released in 1999. First, Riley Mann is here all the way from Hollywood to fight for the movie industry. On the other hand, Nick James is here, a priest from a local DC parish. Tonight's episode is bound to be exciting, so make sure not to miss it. Welcome back to The Bible Goes to Hollywood. I'm here on stage with our two guests for today. I'd like them both to introduce themselves.
I'm Nick James. I'm a priest here in DC, local parish St. Athanasius, and really excited to be here today, Jack.
Thank you. And for you, Riley?
Hi, how's it going? I'm Riley Mann. I'm a film director from Los Angeles, California. I've had over 20 years in the film industry, and I'm here to defend Hollywood's point of view.
Love to hear both your views coming up, but first, after we take a look at the trailer. Welcome back to The Bible Goes to Hollywood. We're here on our panel with our guests today, and we'd love to hear their point of view. Now, starting with Father Nick, how do you feel about the authenticity of the plotline of this movie?
Great question, Jack. Glad you asked it. I thought this movie was very authentic, from the standpoint that there was a man, there was a boat, and there was a flood. Other than that, it was horrific. For example, Sodom and Gomorrah, the two cities shown in the movie. They show the destruction. They show the demise, the destruction of both the cities in the movie. When in reality, the destruction didn't happen until 1,000 years after Noah's life. So it seems like there's just different pieces of the Old Testament just thrown into the movie. So it sort of has the timeline all messed up. Another point. The flood. It's supposed to wipe out all of mankind. But in this movie, there are pirates that seem to attack the boat. So it just seems a little juvenile in the case that pirates are introduced into this movie whenever it's supposed to be like the restoration of mankind.
Riley, he's got a point. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, I know. I really respect Nick's point of view right now in his critique of the movie, but I think he's misunderstanding the question. From Hollywood's point of view, Hollywood does not tend to focus more on the biblical authenticity of the film, but more on the viewership and how the movies that we make appeal to the viewers. So from saying that, I would say that Hollywood's modification of biblical messages or stories or plots is more based on the viewers than just how the presentation of the movie comes about.
Well, I guess we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one. Our next question. Now, how do you feel morally? We'll start with Riley on this one. Morally, how do you feel using biblical stories for your own use in Hollywood? How do you feel about that?
Again, I would say that Hollywood is more not focused on the moral aspect of using biblical films or biblical stories, but we're focused on the plot lines of these biblical stories and how they pertain and how they could pertain to future movies being produced or movies that have been produced already. By saying this, I would say that obviously there's a ton of different stories in the Bible that are interesting, creative, and it is one of the reasons why the Bible is the most popular book of all time. In saying this, I would say that these stories make for great and free opportunities to capitalize on film production.
I feel like you're going to disagree.
I like when movies are made about the Bible. The problem I have is, more often than not, these movies focus on different points other than the key values of the stories told in the Bible. Like fight scenes, like all this action, it's packed into these biblical stories whenever it's not there, it's forced. So my thing is, I want these movies to be made, but I want them to be done right. I want them to follow the stories in the Bible, because the Bible has some of the greatest stories ever told in mankind. And to show that on film to viewers, I think is an awesome thing to do. For instance, Franco Zeffirelli's Jesus of Nazareth. Great portrayal of Jesus and his story of traveling and his crucifixion. But like I said before, more often than not, these stories are not told to their full potential.
Well, something tells me we are not going to be able to solve this issue today, but I do appreciate both of you coming on the show and expressing your viewpoints, and I'm sure our viewers enjoyed it. So thank you, and make sure to check out our show next week. Good night.